Hi and welcome. Uh, we're the Weasley Sisters, and this is episode 237. I like that number. Um, I'm Jessica, also known as Naturally Nitty.
And I'm Allena, also known as Starnix. Today is January 3rd, 2019. Happy New Year.
Yeah,
This is our first planning podcast of the year. This is our bi monthly podcast. If you're a returning listener, thanks for coming back. If you are a first time listener / watcher, thanks for joining us, and I hope you like the show.
yeah. So grab a chair. No, grab your knitting, pull up a chair, and craft along with us. You think I know what to say for
Right.
by now?
So, um, planning podcast. Your newts should have already been um, proposed and started. So let's skip along to owls.
Yes.
Owls from the 1st to the 22nd, you can propose your owl. And I think that this term has the detention owl. So if you're doing that, you can get in on that. I had thought about it, but I'm not sure.
Um,
And knowing how fast that fills up, I probably missed the deadline.
how many spots do they take? I didn't look into that. I was
I
just
didn't either because that's how not advanced studies I am.
okay. So I decided I wanted to do an owl this term, um, because I want to make the cabled sweater. No, the errant sweater from Elizabeth Zimmerman's Knitter's Almanac for January. But I'm going to be behind because I want to spin the yarn for it. Um, so, anyways, I looked through. There's the alchemy owl option, where if you're an owl mistress, meaning you've completed all 12 owls, you can combine 2 to 12 of the owl subjects together to uh, make gold for your alchemy owl. Anyways, so I decided spinning or prepping fiber, which was part of. Um, is that a new mug? Because that's really cute.
Yes, it is. I got it at the Pennsylvania Llama and Alpaca Association that I did in November.
That's really cool, and I'm jealous.
The lady is from Mudworks Pottery, and she has all kinds of stuff. And this one's named William.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So it's awesome. It's a sheep. Um,
Sorry, I'm totally easily distracted. Anyways, so I have a fleece. It's a Tarshi fleece that I cleaned years ago. Actually, it's from this sweater that I have on, which is one of my favorites. It's like neppy, but it's so soft and lovely. Um, anyways, I have like 8 to 10 pounds of clean fiber left from it. That's not carded or anything. It's just like fiber. So like I have two of these bags,
that's crazy.
and
Eight
then a big Tupperware Rubbermaid tub thing filled with it. Here, let me get some out. Like, just, yeah.
crazy.
Anyways, so I decided that I want to spin it. But so for like I could just do a single owl, but for the potions one, you need to wash the fiber and it's already washed. And then I guess I could have did a simple one, but I didn't want to like restart all the owls. Like I just don't want to go through them all again because that's
Do
just
things twice.
anyways, so I took the like prepping part of the potions. Um and then I am doing the transfiguration where I'm making a lot of yarn out of fiber. And then I'm doing Muggle Studies where I'm spinning for a specific sweater. So those are the three things that I combined to make my alchemy out. And I proposed it last night, so I don't know if it's accepted or not. But yeah, so So I'm excited about it and nervous. And I haven't done an owl in 5 years, like real years.
Well, once you like finish them,
right?
so actually, like I've attempted a detention owl a couple of times, and I always get further and further along on what I'm working, but I've never actually completed it.
Yeah.
So I've been pondering doing a detention owl because I have a couple of sweaters that I want to finish.
Just set the expectations realistically. I think sometimes we think owls have to be so huge or whatever, but
Well, like especially the detention one, because you're like, I'm going to finish all of these things.
yeah, no, you can't do that. Like, there's a reason you didn't finish it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But so that's what I think I'm going to do. But a couple of those times I was doing that Hermione sweater, and we know the issues I have with my Hermione.
Oh yes. Anyways, so that's my plan for my owl. Like at first I was thinking I'm gonna spin and knit a sweater, and then I was like, no, that's a new. And then I was like, dang it, I wish I would have thought of this back in December because I could have done another newt, but whatever. So I think I might try proposing the sweater for a mission, which you get 8 full weeks if I start right away. That's 2 months.
Can you? Well, you knit fast, so you
know it's cables and stuff, so like, that takes me a little longer. But I figure if anything, I'll like try and I'll get at least that 50% mark or whatever to earn the points for that. Because I really want to. I think I really want to try knitting along with that book.
So I want to as well, but I'm behind on the times.
Sorry.
So that's cool. Let's keep going. So we're on order missions because you were talking about them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for the order mission, you start January 9th, you can start proposing through the 20th, your broom. I'm thinking of the vest that I spun for Andy.
Yeah.
And dyed in my newt last term. I'm going to actually knit the vest for him.
That's cool.
For my order mission.
That's nice too, because you don't have the sleeves.
Yeah, and I can't do a sweater in an order mission. I am going to be pushing it with this vest because he is a tall guy. So, yeah.
I'm going into it. I don't even know if I'll finish. I just want to start it.
Yeah, that's my thing too. That's why I'm like still pondering maybe doing a detention owl. If the slots aren't filled up, I might. Like I said, I have a sweater that I started for Madison that I would like to finish, and I have a sweater that I started for myself, the brown one that I would like to finish. And they're both probably about halfway, so like 2 halves equal 1 whole sweater. So that's definitely an owl's worth of knitting.
It doesn't hurt to propose it.
Yeah, I'd have to pull out the stuff and take pictures and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, order missions, that's a good 6-week smaller project, which is why I'm saying vest, but I'm not sure. Like I was thinking because Bella wants a wallaby, but she's like an adult medium now. So that would not be order mission for me. That would be an owl, and I've done all my owls, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I feel ya.
And it's not like I can knit a sweater in a month at all. I can't. I'm just that slow.
I could do a baby sweater, but that's about it.
Yeah, miss when I had small babies.
So the order missions, you propose them till the 20th, and then you can start them on January 27th.
Yes. Then the headmistress challenge.
Okay.
This term, the first step is you need to apply for an internship, and that has to happen between today, which was the 1st, and the 10th of January. If you don't apply for the internship, you can't do the rest of the headmistress challenge for the rest of the month. I'm going to read what they wrote. So it says, first step will be to apply for the internship. That needs to happen between our information session today and January 10th, midnight POT. At that point, myself and the staff will be approving applications. You will hear whether your application has been approved by January 13th. There is an unlimited space for this internship program. So if you are interested in participating, please apply. Later in January, they will review your progress in getting to know your assigned department. And in February to early March, you'll be working on a project determined by yourself and your department head. Now, obviously, in order to complete the second and third parts of the internship, you have to apply in the application window. Students who do not apply will not be able to participate later in internship activities. So completing the internship application will earn you 10 points. All applications must be received by the midnight, January 10th. And this is a non-crafting prompt. So all you have to do is go and apply.
Yeah, super easy. I did it.
I did it too, like really easy. So I copied what the internships are. You can do an internship in the Department of the Missing Half, the Department of Unidentified So-and-So, Muggle-Worthy Excuse Committee, Transportation Department, Beast, Being, and Spirit Division. Those are the 5 internships that are open. So what did you apply for?
The missing half thing.
Oh, I applied for the Muggle-Worthy Excuse Committee.
Okay.
Because I said, like, I always, made excuses. So
I said that I have a basket of socks that have no mates in my laundry room, and all the like half missing containers and lids and stuff.
oh yeah,
It just always happens, and I want to know why.
yeah.
That's why I applied.
So I did this so like we can like tell the Muggles there's nothing going on type of thing. So
No,
that's what I did. It sounds like it's going to be a fun challenge this term. Some terms I forget to do the headmistress challenge, and some terms I remember.
and even if you're not sure, like just doing this application thing is the easiest thing in the world. It takes you like 2 minutes, and it's 10 points, and you just have to type. Like that's it. So go do it. All right. Quidditch is another good one from match 1 from January 3rd, which is today, to January 14th. You need to do something, anything, the one task that must be done in the next few days. Before and after pictures are required. So I saw someone say something about taking down their Christmas tree, and that's totally going to be what I'm doing because I need to do it, and it's easy. I was gonna say like re-cleaning the house, but I don't want to have to take pictures of everything. So a picture of the tree and then a picture of it gone. That's what I'm doing.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Is your tree still up?
Yeah, well, we had just really a small LED tree that's like this big.
Oh, okay. That's right.
So it's still up. But yeah.
You can do other things. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I need to clean off this counter or I need to do this or whatever. Or you could organize your stash. Or I saw someone ask if they could rip out a project. And as long as you show before and after pictures, you're good to go.
That is cool. I actually, it's through the 14th. I have this quilt that I made when I was in high school of pockets of jeans that I wore.
Okay.
Just old squares of pockets, basically. And I had never actually finished it or anything. Like it was just sewn onto a sheet and it wasn't even quilted and it's like really bad. So I found it and I pulled it out. And so what I kind of want to do, because some of the pockets are like separating from their other pockets. So what I want to do is take the back off, finish, re-sew together the pockets. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I have um, an old flannel. So we have flannel sheets because in the winter you use flannel when it's cold because they're soft and fuzzy. But the bottom fitted sheet like wore out, so I have the flat sheet.
Yeah.
And so that's big enough to be the back of this jean pocket quilt that I made years
That's
ago.
cool.
So what I want to do is sew all the pockets back together, and then attach the sheet to the back, and then like actually finish the quilt.
That's
So
cool.
that might be what I do. So like I'll do like a before and after. It's something that I pulled it out and then set it in my sewing room. It's like over there. And was like, after the new year, I'm going to do this because I'll have a little bit of time to do this. So I actually have something I have to do first today. I have to get it in the mail, so I have to do that, and it's like a secret, so I can't really do anything like on screen. But then after that, I think that's what I'm going to do for Quidditch. I just decided that right now.
Very cool.
Okay, so we are like totally tangenting all over the place.
Kind of. We're just talking about what we're doing. Usually we don't have plans for our advanced studies.
I know. Like, look at us. 2019 is the year of planning. At least for today. So let's go on to the classes. First up, we have Ancient Runes. A flower opens in hand. Darkness has no defense against the dawn. A star's fire farther than what is known. A cloud cannot hide the sky. A heart cannot hide inside. The dawn wakes the doe and the bird. Joy is darkness turned to light always. A love poem from Severus to Lily. So for this month's assignment, reflect on the poem and craft to protect, bring joy, show love, and or friendship. For example, flowers, birds, stars, and hearts are all welcome this month. Fades are another suggestion inspired by darkness turned to light are eagerly anticipated. Bonus points for how well your project ties into the poem and their story. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted if they fit the prompt. Prior approval is not required. So that's a cool thing. I'm sure I like read that poem really bad, and all the English teachers are cringing inside, and I apologize.
That's okay. Yeah, it does sound fun. I think I don't have anything like specifically thought out for this class. Oh, that's what I was gonna grab. But I was thinking the fade thing. I think it'd be fun to like spin a gradient type.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like I'm thinking, like if you knit a fade, holy crap, that's like a sweater quantity of more than a sweater quantity.
Yeah.
But spinning a gradient would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun. But no, that's a cool, cool class.
Yeah, that's a cool class.
Arithmancy. We'll be focusing on the power of one through uniqueness. So your prompt is to craft one singular item. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted if they fit the prompt. So that's very, very basic.
Yeah, you craft anything, and if it's one, you're good to
Not
go.
socks and not mittens, but pretty much everything else, you're good to go.
Yeah, a hat, a scarf, a shawl, anything.
A dishcloth, a blanket square. Yeah, anything.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, I have to admit I have not read any of the prompts, so this is the first time I'm seeing any of them, and I apologize for being unprepared. So first up, we have Care of Magical Creatures, or third up actually. Okay, centaurs. Centaurs have human heads, torsos, and arms joined to a horse's body, which may be any of several colors. Being intelligent and capable of speech, they are not strictly a beast, but they have chosen that designation for themselves. Centaurs typically need a little protection by wizards as they have their own means of hiding from humans. They need little, not they need a little. They are mistrustful of muggles and wizard kind alike. Typically, they live in herds of 10 to 50 members. They are reputed to be well versed in magical healing, divination, archery, and astronomy. Unicorns. Adult unicorns are pure white, horned horses, while foals are initially gold and turn silver before reaching maturity. The unicorn horn, hair, and blood all have magical properties. It generally avoids human contact and is more likely to allow witches to approach it than wizards. It is very fast. Thestrals. Thestrals are a rare type of winged horse. A herd lives in the Forbidden Forest. They are black, possess the power of invisibility, and considered unlucky by many wizards. Owners are required to cast a disillusionment charm on them to mask what they look like to muggles. This month, please craft an item inspired by one of these three magical ground walking creatures: unicorns, thestrals, or centaurs. In your submission, tell us which creature you're inspired by and why. Only Ravelry crafts will be accepted this month. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun one. So you can I mean, pretty much do anything inspired
Right.
by them. So you can go colors, or you can kind of go by their properties or what they do or what they're
Yeah.
used for. I don't know, all sorts of things. I don't have a specific thing planned for this one, but I liked the idea of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't have anything.
for sure. All right, moving on. Defense against the dark arts. The spell, sorry, Petrificus totalis, also known as the full body bind. For your homework, craft something that can be used to bind a body. Wrap it up. Ravelry crafts only, please. So basically, I looked in some of the questions and stuff. So if you can wrap it around your body, that's cool. Like a scarf or a sweater or I don't exactly know, but I know they said not socks because that only goes on your feet. So I'm guessing that would be the same with the mittens. But if you can show it wrapped around a body, it's cool. I saw someone ask about mini sweaters, and they said if you could put it around a Lego person or something, you just have to show that it can wrap around the body.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, and so you could do it with hand spun too. So if you have a skein of yarn and wrap it around, you're good to go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's pretty open.
Yeah, that is really open. I like when they're open like that because it means you can fit the stuff that you want to make into a class.
Me too.
Okay, next up is herbology. For this month's homework, you will be taking care of mandrakes. To do this, you can either craft ear protection for yourself or craft something for the baby mandrake. Non-Ravelry crafts will be accepted if they fit the prompt.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually using this hat for that class because um, it's ear protection.
Yeah, that's cool.
So any and all hats, ear warmers, all that kind of stuff. I bet you could even um, knit an I cord or crochet a cord around your earbuds cord if you wanted to, and call that ear protection.
Yeah, that actually would be so cool. I the only thing I have planned this month is I warped up my loom finally for
Yay.
dishcloths. Um, not not dishcloths, dish towels.
Okay.
After seeing yours, I really wanted to make some. I warped enough for 4, I think.
Okay.
I did the math right. Um, so I might give 2 to Andy's mom and keep 2 for myself.
Cool.
If they turn out. So I finished that and it's ready to start.
Awesome.
I finished that this morning.
That's
And
awesome. And then if you get I was gonna say if you get low on classes, not that if you get sucked into sewing or something, but you could even turn those into 4 different things if you had to.
yeah.
Um, which is awesome.
I mean, other than that, I've been working on this mitered square blanket, so I can turn in squares for different stuff.
Oh yeah, right. Um,
Yeah.
for that class, you can knit all sorts of baby things if you have a baby, which I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay. Magical journalism. Something old, something new. Which resolution is just for you? Craft something from the newest of new on Ravelry, a pattern just released in the last 30 days. So since I think they said December 1st.
Mhm.
Or craft from the oldest. Choose to craft a project from your oldest stash. It only needs to be old to you. No, it doesn't have to be from a you, meaning sheep. If that just rhymed, and Hermione likes to rhyme and be neat as well as well. Anyways, the journalism, they were studying the Weasley women, yeah, the Weasley women. So they did Fleur and Molly and Hermione.
They did do Ginny.
I guess not. I mean, it was just like a little picture in the prompt. It wasn't whatever.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, because she's a Potter now. So anyway, okay.
And yeah, she is a Potter now. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'm probably gonna find some old stash and use it because a lot of my stash is old. Actually, I wanted a pair of slippers, so I'll probably go find some yarn and make them.
Well, I was gonna say that, or like that you were talking about. You have that fleece. Like you could spin up some, like some like of that tarji because it's like how old.
Oh, true.
But yeah, but you're doing that for your owl, so never mind. Anyways, um, Muggle studies. Create an object inspired by a magical character in a fairy tale, folklore, or legend, or use a craft or motif characteristic of that character's culture of origin. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted if, if they involve manipulating paper. That's interesting.
It is
So, um, fairy tale creature, magical fairy tale creature.
so basically, it needs to be from, like, I was reading some of the FAQ, which you might want to do before, if you are choosing this class. Not movie adaptations. Like they want to make sure it's like treated like the actual uh legend or fairy tale or whatever, like the original. Like
Um,
they were saying how they got in fairy tales they got it wrong, like, or not wrong, but like say Baba Yaga floats around in a mortar
pestle.
vessel, and like I don't know, different things like that. Um I forget what else they used. Oh, and like the witch in Hansel and Gretel, like must use transfiguration to make her house from food and blah blah blah. But yeah, go read the prompt for more stuffs. Is all I'm saying. Okay. For potions, your homework this month is to explore the Brazilian fire slug mucus by working with yarn or fiber that you don't enjoy. It could be something that you don't like the texture of, or a colorway you don't care for, or something that is difficult for you to work with. Make sure you tell us why you don't enjoy working with it. Ravelry crafts only. So for this one, I already have something I'm going to do. I am going to spin up this fiber um, because when I dyed it, I over dyed it. I already spun one braid up, and it's like A, I don't like the colors. B, it's semi like felted, not felted, but you know, it's like it was roughed up and it was not nice enough um to sell. Um, so I'm gonna spin it myself, even though it's gonna be a pain. So that's what I'm doing.
That's crazy. I was actually thinking if I spin, I would see if I have any orange or yellow because I really don't like those.
Yeah, that works.
Um, but yeah, that's kind of a fun class. Like get rid of all the stuff that you don't like,
Yeah, or gives you a reason to actually use it.
or use acrylic, like the stuff that eats holes in your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the planning podcast. I hope it helped you plan. Now back to our regularly scheduled podcast. So Mojo, which is our finished objects, knitting and crochet.
Yes,
So do you have any Mojo?
I do. I finished a pair of mittens for Truman. Um, out of this yarn. Let me pull it. He has them on him right now. This was some Polworth fiber that I spun last year, I think. I'm trying to find the picture. Here we go. Um, They are so not matchy. That's what you get with hand spun. But there you go. Green mittens. I think this is like the 5th or 6th year in a row that I've made him green mittens.
Like so easy for him.
Okay, so I just finished these mittens, and then the day after, I totally realized or didn't realize that his hat that matches that got thrown in the washer, so it felted. So instead of being like slouchy sockhead hat, it's a felted beanie.
But that happens because remember that awesome towel you wove me?
Yeah.
It got thrown in and it's like a wonky mess now. I didn't throw it away. I just kept it.
That's right. You could like cut things out of it and have it be like a felted fiber. Maybe you could sew a bat, like a box bucket bag or something out of it, or I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to look at it. It's down in with our other.
Yeah, I know. It happens. It happens to the best of us. But anyways, luckily I have some of the fiber left over, so that's why I'm making him a new hat. But yeah, that was my pretty much only mojo. I haven't really been knitting too much.
Okay,
Yep.
so I had when we last talked, I was still working on like hats and cowls for the teachers. So I finished the 3 hats. See if I can get it to not be shiny. There you go. 3 hats for the guys, and then cowls galore. Oh, and here's 2 more hats because then after um, that, I was told, and there's more cowls. I was told that I needed other hats, so I did that, and everyone liked them, or so I'm told, or at least when Andy was around, they were wearing them.
Cool.
Oh, I could have just showed you this picture, which has them all. Anyways, um, so let me see if I can get it so it's not. Anyways, it's not working. That's a bunch of hats for teacher gifts. That's what I finished.
That's
And
awesome.
then we went on our Christmas vacation to Wisconsin, and I pulled out my never ending blanket, mitered square blanket, and I actually over the past week when we were at Jessica's house, I did 27 squares and I sewed in the ends and everything. So it's mainly the top of these couple of rows, and then I started doing like I did this one, um, which actually I only counted it as one, but it should be counted as 4 because it's enough for 4. So 27 plus 4 is 31. So I actually did 31 squares, and then on the I sewed in all the ends, and then on the way home, which was the first, I started these ones that I have marked now. So I did that, and I'm just kind of knitting on them. I don't generally turn in mitered squares as homework like I haven't in the past, just because even though they're considered a finished object, um, they don't seem like a finished object to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But um, but I'm still knitting on this because I would like to have a blanket finished eventually, but who knows if that's ever gonna and it's like in between the month, like you don't really know what you want to make, or you don't really have a carry around project. So not that this is very carry around, but yeah.
I hear you.
So yeah, those are what I finished, and then also what I'm working on. So
Cool.
we're on to whips, works in progress. Do you have
Um,
any whips?
yeah, I started this hat for Trubin. Um,
Well,
the black is just a commercial wool, which I don't know what kind it is because it didn't have a ball band. I think I bought it like back in my very like first or second year of knitting.
wow.
I think it's DK weight because it's not quite worsted. Anyways, and I paired it with hand spun. So I like how it's like shifting, like it's strengthening because it's hand spun, but then I'm doing the stranded knitting, if you can see on the inside. Um, And basically I'm just doing knitting two of each color and alternating. And then, so I'm doing that for 2 rows and then shifting it over 1 stitch. So it's kind of spiraling a little. Because I just wanted some variation. And I wasn't sure how much I'd have, but I think I have enough. I don't know exactly how I'll decrease it or if I'll just decrease it like normal and see how the pattern turns out as I go. I really don't know. That's what I'm working on. Oh, I also, while you guys were here, I pulled out my Hermione sweater, which I think the last time I talked about it on the podcast, I had ripped out the sleeves and started to redo them at a slower decrease. I was doing it every 3 rounds. Well, it still decreased way too fast because I guess I didn't do math and figure out that it would decrease too fast. So I ripped them out again and I'm decreasing every 4th round, but I thought maybe that would be a little too fast as well. So then about here, I started doing it every 5th round. I don't know. I guess I really should have did some calculations. But whatever. So this is like the third time I'm making these sleeves. And yeah, we'll see if I even like the sweater when it's done.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I was working on. But I'll probably put it down now that the month has started. Maybe I'll work on it when I don't have anything else to work on.
That's cool. Yeah. So like,
write a note what I'm doing and put it in there in my bag.
Yeah, I think that that's what's nice about, like, if you don't do back to back newts, you get time to like work on and just like relax and work on stuff.
Yeah. Like, what's that? Just kidding. Yeah, I was doing a lot of newts there for a while. But no, a break is good every once in a while. Yeah, so that was all I'm working on knit-wise. So we can move on to spinning.
Okay. You spin me right round. I don't have any spinning. I haven't been spinning, which is weird. I feel weird. But I got a late Christmas present. Like, it was mailed and it didn't get here in time for Christmas. So I opened it yesterday. So it's this really pretty, it goes from purple to green, like purple and green, like a gradient almost, from Heavenly Wools. It's from New Zealand. Um, and it's like the softest. This is called salamander. The softest. It's the softest merino in the world. Like, I'm touching it and it's so soft. But yeah, and it's really pretty. So this was part of my Christmas gift.
Very cool.
So that's the only spinning related thing that
I have been spinning a little bit on my drop spindle because I was done with my actual spinning project. Did I show that yarn? I don't remember. I think I no. Last time, let me see if I can grab it real quick. Okay. I spun up some Rolex. There was a December spin along. I think I talked about it. I don't think I showed the yarn. Anyways, I spun them up. It's about 6 ounces of yarn of fiber. I did count the yardage. I could look it up. I think it's close to like 500 or 600. It's pretty thin, like DK-ish weight. But yeah, it was a spin along on Instagram that I was playing along with, where we were supposed to knit fingerless mitts out of it. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I finished this a few days before you guys got here. Also, I ordered from Acreworks a bobbin. So I was reading on their Ravelry site. They have a shot thread for my wheels. They always did the jumbo woolly winder, but not the regular jumbo flyer, which is what I have. I don't have a woolly winder. but I do have the jumbo. And that's on my sidekick right now, but I can also put it on my other girls. But I was reading and they said, and it was just a few months ago that they said that the bobbins made for the jumbo woolly winder will still work on the regular jumbo flyer.
That's nice because
Yeah.
I was reading in that same group in the Ashford because that's what I have at Ashford,
Yeah.
and they the woolly winder does not it does not fit, and I was sad. But they were really good about it. Like I asked in the thread, and they contacted me and asked me to send pictures, and so I did. And then Aiden like measured it from the pictures and was like, no, it won't fit. And then they found like someone who had bought the
Yeah.
bobbin for their regular bulky flyer and not the woolly winder. And they were like, it doesn't work. But they were really nice about it. I mean, it just sucks that they only make them for the woolly winders.
I think it's in the works. He has so many different ideas of things that like he can only work on certain things at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like he had the jumbo bobbin for the regular one, like, on a list somewhere, but then they figured out it'll work. So I'm excited. But also because it's so this is like a regular size one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it like has like almost like a, I don't know, like a centimeter of extra space. So like you can even fit more because on shop bobbins, like the whirl is like way thick on both sides. But the pulleys are like up here, not like right close to the edge of the thing. So they even said the regular size, not jumbo, woolly winder ones are thinner up here than these. Oh my gosh. Um, so you can fit like 10% more fiber on the ones made for the woolly winder. So if I ever order more, I might just order it for the woolly winder so I can fit more fiber on the actual bobbin.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Anyways, so I only had one bobbin for my jumbo flyer, so now I have two.
That's
This one.
It's nice to have more than one, and it's nice to have pretty see-through.
And I wasn't sure, there's so many color options. Like Acreworks is some of my favorite stuff, but I got gray just so that it would let the color of whatever fiber I do shine. That was my thought. Because I have, a lot of bright colors. But anyways, so yeah, I'm excited about that. But also in that order, I got one of his knitters toolkits.
Cool.
I've been watching him develop this for like the longest time. So it has this gauge thing for when you swatch. Um, and you can count in between here and see stuff. Anyways, but the coolest thing, so there's magnets in the corners right here. So like there's needles here, but they don't fall out when it's upside down.
Yeah, and you could probably throw some stitch markers in there.
You can. There's these little like
Light bulby things.
light bulby safety pin things. Anyways, but yeah, you can put stitch markers in there. And then how cute are these little scissors?
Those are cute.
They're the tiniest. Like throwing things all over the place today. But I love that it's magnetic and it doesn't fall out. And then you have the tape measure, which you can use still in there or you can pop it out too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like a rubber, like it's sort of hard, but it's still soft. But then, even the coolest thing, because I'm always not knowing what size my needles are, is the needle gauge on the outside. I love it. I think it's awesome. So yeah, I've been watching him create, or like, he makes all sorts of things, but I saw when they were posting about this and had to get one.
That's cool.
So yeah, and then I got a little hedgehog not needle, flyer threader because hedgehogs are cute and they're fun to have. And like his little feet wheels move. I don't know how he made that.
That's super cute.
Yeah, but that's it. for spinning. What do we have next?
I have to scroll down.
Weaving.
Yes, weaving. I told you earlier, I warped
Very
my
I have plans to weave something.
you
I
have it.
want to make sure I weave something once a month. You get tons of yardage and easy yardage, and B, I want to make sure I'm using my loom.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. Try and keep me accountable.
Well, and then in the Slytherin Weavery, they talk about that all the time.
I know, and I know it. That and spinning gets me tons of yardage bonus. But I just don't always do it. Are we skipping right over gym because both of us have not been doing anything?
No sewing, no gym. I mean, I will be sewing later, but I haven't sewn for a little bit because we had Madison's boyfriend visiting, so I
Yeah,
couldn't get in my room.
yeah, that happens. All right, binging. So the weeks leading up to your visit, I was binging on the Harry Potter series, listening to it because A, I haven't listened to it in a while, and B, I couldn't pick. I was in like a book hole because I just couldn't find something to really get my attention, and I needed to clean and do all sorts of different things. And when you have a good series, it's easier to do those things. I am currently just starting. I'm a few chapters into the seventh book, so yeah, it was good to re-listen to all of them.
Yeah, I think I need to do that sometime.
It was good. I mean, it's always good. Uh, yeah, good stuff. Also, I'm excited. Leah has always been maybe not anti Harry Potter, but she always said she didn't like it, and she was always asking for different book recommendations. And she read through the Mortal Instruments, and she just read through the Divergent series. What else? I forget what else she's done. But she decided that she's going to start reading Harry Potter now, and I am so excited because she never wanted to before. So yeah, I'm just excited about that. But yeah, as for watching, we watched a ton of different movies, Christmas movies, non-Christmas movies, over our Christmas vacation. But I just started watching the show 911 on
So good.
Hulu.
So
Yeah,
good.
pretty good. I'm only a few shows into it, but it's very
I
good.
like binge that. Like I was like addicted. Like I was like, oh, I'll see if I like this. And then
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I think I'm like 4, maybe 5 episodes in. But yeah, good stuff. I think after that, I think I'll start Buffy
yes, that's what I'm oh,
because that was one of the main things I was excited for Hulu for was Buffy. But yeah. Okay, what about you? What are you binging?
so I am on a show hole, not a show hole, a book hole. But I on the drive, so I had downloaded some books and I'm actually reading a book. I don't know where my I think I started a book in a series called the let me find it. The Dead Glass series.
Hmm.
And I started it and it's interesting. It's okay. I'm not like super into it, but I had downloaded some other stuff and charged my phone and left it charging when we left to go to Wisconsin. So that's 11 hours of driving. So I didn't have anything but my phone, which I mean, some people are like, why don't you just put it on your phone? Because I like to have two separate things and leave it. So then I had to see what I had on my Kindle app, which is fine because I brought my uh, short story. Andy had a Kindle. They got Kindle Fires a couple years ago, and he doesn't use it very much. He uses his iPad. So, like a month or so ago, I was like, we
Fine.
rearranged our living room, and I took it, and I put my I like factory reset it and put my Amazon account. So it has all those free books that you get, like because I get an email every um day actually of all the free books that you can
Okay.
download. So I have a bunch. So I went in onto the Kindle and I was like, well, what do I have for free? So I started reading this crappy series, totally like dumb. But I read through one, two, three, four of
Yeah.
them on the drive. So they were like super. They were kind of like shorts. They weren't like super long, but they were the Supernatural Bounty Hunter. The first by Craig Halloran. Halloran. The first one's called Smoke Rising, and it was okay. Like I only gave them 3 stars because it wasn't that good. I'm not super attached to any of the characters.
Okay.
Um, so yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I'm reading the fourth one, and I didn't finish it because I just don't care. Um,
Say, if you're still reading them, then it must have been somewhat okay.
well, they were what was on that Kindle like downloaded, so that's
Okay.
what I read them. That's why. So that's what I read, and I didn't link it to on my binging, but when I do the show notes, I'll link it. Anyways, um, so I've been watching Elementary and Buffy pretty much. Like sometimes when I get too overwhelmed with all the angsty teenness of Buffy, which I love Buffy because like I just love it. I remember when it first came out,
Yeah.
watching it. Anyways, when I get overwhelmed with that, I switch to Elementary and I watch that, and I've been kind of like loving that. Um, and then Netflix just and I realized I've been spending a lot of time on Hulu, so Netflix is missing me. So I went back to Netflix, and they have this new movie like interactive thing called Bandersnatch from Black Mirror. And so I was like, I'll see what it's like this morning. So I watched it, but that's like endless possibilities because it's like a choose your own adventure book, but it's a movie slash TV show. I don't know even what to call it, but you like are watching and it says like the first question is, do you want like Frosted Flakes or another cereal? And then like from there you just choose, and it's like you get a different viewing. It's crazy. So I watched through. It was about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, and then we came to an ending. And then I went back to see how much was left, and only a portion had we watched. So I'm like, what the heck? And it was like so crazy and so Black Mirror, like trippy and weird and just like crazy. It was so good. So I like restarted it. I was gonna restart it, but I said to go back to restart, and they're like, all your choices will be erased. And I was like, that's fine because I need to redo it because we came to the end and they were showing the credits. So it's really good. So Bandersnatch, if you like the Black Mirror show, like the crazy weirdness, I say go for it. So I watched that. It was really, really interesting.
That's crazy.
But for a while there, when I was knitting and stuff, I was doing all the like just Buffy. Like when the family was home, we watched Christmas movies.
Right.
But yeah. So, anyways,
Very
yeah,
cool.
that's all that I've been doing: reading crappy books and watching Buffy.
All right. Moving on. Random randomness. Um,
So we went to randomly. I know you were going to say something. We came up there for Christmas, and we were there for like about a week and a half, maybe.
yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
it was loads of fun, and it's super quiet and lonely here now. um, but yeah. So, but right before that, I had said how Joe and I were going to Milwaukee to see the
Oh yeah.
Azkaban with the symphony, the Milwaukee's, whatever, symphony and orchestra playing by, oh, I can pull up a picture. It was totally awesome. So it was like in a theater, like, it's called the Riverside Theater in Milwaukee. If you know of it, cool, you know what I'm talking about. But like a theater where you could have plays or uh, shows or whatever later. Different concerts and stuff. Oh crap! I think I erased those pictures. Let me see if I can find it on Instagram.
Were they on Instagram?
They are. I just erased them off my phone because my phone's been getting full. Anyways, it was so totally awesome. So they played the movie, but then the orchestra is playing the entire time.
That's so cool.
Um, that's not the best picture. Anyways, so that was our view from our seats. You can see how like, old theater-y it is. And so the movie was playing there and the orchestra is all like down and under the big old screen. So they played like everything, the score, like background music. They also, because in that movie they have like the choir singing, the double double toil and trouble. So they had like a bunch of like singers off to the side, and they came in and sang different parts of the music that had like that kind of stuff.
That's so cool.
Like it was just amazing. Like I had myself like I'd be staring at the players like doing stuff. Like I kept like switching between the screen and like watching them, and it was like just so amazing. Like it was crazy.
And it's good that it's like a movie you've seen before, so you don't have to worry about missing it.
Sorry, what?
It's good that it's a movie you've seen before because you don't have to worry about missing it.
Right. But like during like the action scenes and stuff, like it was just so crazy and intense. But it was really awesome. So they had like subtitles on the movie because it was so loud with the music. Sometimes it was a little hard to hear the words. And there's only like a handful of times that they weren't playing at all, like where there's just dialogue. But like they played forever. And then there's like a little intermission, and like they were selling like, it's how the theater makes its money, but like butterbeer and different stuff like that, and like house scarves and whatever silly things like that. But then they played again, and then at the very end, they played through the entire credits. So I don't know if you've ever watched the credits on the Harry Potter movies, or like sometimes they play in the background, but like it goes through all the different songs of like what's actually in the movie. So they like played through it. It's for like 15-20 minutes worth of more playing after the end. It was just like insane. It was really cool. So if you ever have a chance to see a Harry Potter movie in concert, with an orchestra playing along it or whatever, go do it because it's totally awesome. It was
That
good.
is awesome. I wonder if like Pittsburgh does that. I don't know.
I don't know, but I heard like people we were sitting around, like I think they're going through the whole series because like other people had gone to the first two.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but like expensive. Like I forget how much our tickets were, but they weren't cheap. And we were
like, you figure that's like paying the orchestra.
Right. And we were like high up. Like they were supposed to be like mid-level seats or whatever. And I was like, don't pay a ton of money. We don't need to like be super close. I've seen the movie before, like I didn't care. Yeah. But like I can't imagine the people that were sitting like super up front what they paid. That's crazy. And then like off to like some school must have like got a deal or something because there was a whole section of like kids. I'm guessing they're middle schoolers. I'm guessing it was like
the best
class or something. And I'm like, I need to tell our band teacher about this because
yeah,
we'll chaperone that field trip.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But no, it was super, super awesome. And we got a hotel that was like a block and a half away from it. So we just like walked to and from it. The only crappy thing, they wouldn't let me bring my knitting in. They said the needles were weapons. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because they had to check people's purses and they only were allowing like certain size purses. So I didn't even bring my purse. I just brought my knitting bag. So I'm guessing if I would have just had a purse with the knitting shoved in there, they wouldn't have saw them.
Yeah.
So I'm kicking myself for that because they opened it like an hour before it actually played. So I was sitting there. I'm like, I could be knitting right now. I'm so mad.
Though if you ever do that again, you can just like wear them in your hair, like pull your hair up, and then bring yarn, and then start your project when you get there.
Yeah, no, I'd totally do it differently. But yeah, I was just surprised. I'm like, seriously, like you could use anything for weapons. I'm not going to use my knitting needles. It'll get my knitting dirty. Like,
yeah.
no thanks. But anyways, it was super cool. Um, yeah, and then I was just gonna talk about our Christmas break was awesome, and I can't believe it's over, and
Yeah, it went by really, really fast.
it
So,
always
our dad had heart surgery,
yeah
um, like 2 weeks before Christmas. So he was just coming. He like was home, but he's still recovering. So we spent a lot of time over at their house, just sitting around and making sure he wasn't doing anything
yeah
because he likes to do stuff. So it was nice, just to hang out and you know
yeah.
and have time off. And like I said, I knit a ton on my 100 square blanket.
And we did puzzles.
Oh yeah, puzzles. Um, and I can't believe you actually finished that one. But like, it makes me like kind of want to get a table and have puzzles. But then I remember how frustrating it is, so then I don't.
Yeah. No, it's better when there's more people around. I don't think I would do puzzles by myself, but like when people are here, I could see it being a thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it in July.
So
Puzzle.
my dad and Mary gave money for Christmas. Gave me money for Christmas and my birthday. So last night, Bella was at C Groups, which is the youth thing, and we were at Starbucks, and then next to Starbucks is a GameStop. So I went in to see if they had the Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee game bundle. They did not. I had to buy them separately, but this is what my Christmas gift is and birthday. So the game, and this is like a controller slash, like you can connect it to your Pokemon Go on your phone and use it with that too.
Cool. So
And
it's for the Switch or for your phone?
for the Switch,
Okay.
but it can work with your phone too.
Okay.
So this is awesome. Like, so this is like the Pokemon games that you have on your DS on this big screen, and it looks amazing. And it's a little bit closer to Pokemon Go because you don't battle to catch the Pokemon; you just throw balls at them.
Okay.
So, but it's a lot of fun, and I played it for like I was like, oh, I'll just try it last night, and it was like 2 hours later. I was like, I should probably go to bed. So a lot of fun. I'm like loving it. And I was gonna get a fiber club, but then I came home and I looked at my fiber stash that's invisible, and I was like, maybe I'll get something else because I have a ton. And if I spin it all, then maybe I'll do a fiber club next year.
That's funny.
So,
Need to get a fiber club. I am so low on my fiber stash. It's not even funny.
well, I have one picked. I had one picked out on Etsy called created by Elise B.
Oh yeah, I
I
followed.
follow her on Instagram, and she always has bright colors, and so she has a fiber club.
I didn't know that. I'll have to check it out.
So that's what I was gonna try this time, but I decided not to do that. And I think from Andy and the girls, I'm going to get something from Acreworks. I'm thinking I need to check the prices and see how much those Acre Kates are,
They're kind of pricey.
but they're awesome. And
Um,
I
awesome.
really
Speaking of which, so Alita's birthday is in 2 days. So you're probably watching this right around her birthday. So go wish her a happy birthday.
oh, thank you. So on New Year's Day, we were driving home, and I was on Ravelry, and I have a friend that I know from different events, and she's a pattern writer, and she is really nice. Her name's Corrine Walcher, and she had a free pattern on New Year's Day, um, and she was like giving away patterns, and she gave away a ton. But so because I know her, and it's like independent pattern designers, like that's their job. So I got a free pattern. So this is one, like I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get it. Uh, there we go. Okay, so this pattern is called the Nakisa cardigan, and it's like cabled on the back, and it's a cardigan. So I got that one, but then I was like, I'm gonna buy a pattern too. So like I bought one and got one free, and so I bought. Um, open. Her other cardigan is called Damsel.
Okay.
And I think for this one, it uses a it uses fingering weight, and I have some yellowish brown. So it was a yellow and black roving that I spun up. I had 3 of them, and I spun it up, and it looks like a brownish, greenish black. You know how like sometimes black and yellow turn greenish, like penny green or copper green. So that's what it kind of looks like. I have some fiber, and I think I have enough yardage to knit, and I think I'm going to knit that green sweater,
That's cool.
damsel one, with that. But yeah, so I think that'll look really cool in that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you get a chance to check out, she has a ton of, she has like 4 or 5 pages of patterns that she's written. So I like went through all of them, and then I was like, I'm just gonna get
What's
these.
her name again? Is
Corrine Walcher. Let me see if I can zero in on it.
that her brand or whatever too?
I think it's just her name. Yeah,
I mean, because sometimes people have different.
she's really nice.
Okay.
So if you can see that,
Yeah.
I know her from like Homespun Yarn Party. And then I've seen her at like different shows. Like I saw her. She does a lot of stuff with dragonfly fibers.
Okay.
But yeah, she's really nice. So go check out her patterns.
Cool.
But yeah. Oh, so my phone is an iPhone 6, and I'm annoyed with it. Sometimes it just shuts off, and it'll be like fully charged, and then when it turns back on, it's like not charged. Stuff like that have been happening, which happens frequently with phones. And I just don't. And I've been thinking for a while that I want to move from an iPhone to an Android. So we were at Walmart yesterday, and I've been thinking I want to switch from, because I use Straight Talk Wireless, which is like fine, but it's not great. So I want to keep my phone number. So I was looking at Walmart, and they have this no contract phone service called Total Wireless, which is basically the same company as Straight Talk, but and so they have like the same connectivity, which is great. Like they use Verizon towers, I think, but
Okay.
they have like if you have 4 people on the plan, you pay $100, so it's $25 a line, and you get 25 gigs of data to share between the 4 of you.
Okay.
So that's like what, 6? And I pay right now 35 for 2 gigs of data. And unlimited talk and text. So I was looking there at the phones they had, because I bought my phone with Straight Talk. It won't let me switch it to the Republic Total Wireless, I think it's called. Which is fine because I want a new phone anyway. So I was looking at phones there, and they have like a Moto E6 Play or something like that. And I was looking at the photograph, because what I really want is something that takes good pictures and that I can use to take pictures for my Etsy store. And they have like this thing where you take the picture and then you can click on the color, and then it like makes everything else black and white but that color. It's really cool. I was like playing with one of the phones that they had there, and it's like reasonably priced. It's not like,
Do you have to buy the phone outright?
What?
You have to buy the phone outright first?
Yeah. So that's the only thing. But I was looking at like the even AT&T, because they have like the AT&T plans there now.
Mm-hmm.
You are still paying per month for the phones.
Right.
I don't know. So anyway, so I'm like, we're thinking about getting me switching to that if I can keep my phone number, which it says I can, which is cool because I've had this phone number forever and I don't want to get a new one. Me switching, and then when Madison's contract comes up, she would join, and then when Andy and Bella's contract, they would join, because they are paying the same amount, but they get 1 gig of data.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of switching. And friends of ours have used Republic Wireless. No, Total Wireless is what it's called. And they have connectivity like everywhere. And Madison has it in Waynesburg, where like mine is kind of iffy out there, and Andy's is totally iffy out there.
Oh,
So
so is that the company Madison uses?
yeah,
Okay.
but we were thinking we would want the main account to be on our credit card. If that makes sense. So she, doesn't have to be in charge of it. So that's why I would get mine, and then she would join.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so I'm thinking about getting a new phone. And they have like all the Moto phones, and then some. They you could get the Samsung, like a Samsung Galaxy, but I was looking at the Moto phone. They have the same specs. They run on that Android Marshmallow or whatever it's called.
I like mine. I have a Moto
Android
X.
8.0, whatever that, because they go by like food, so I don't know what that is. But so I don't know what I was saying. Oh, if anyone has any opinions about uh, Moto phones, or and that's what Andy said. He has a Moto phone and he likes it. Bella has one and she likes it. Um, yeah, and Madison I think has one too. So, or if you have any comments, like if where you're living, if Total Wireless doesn't work, let me know, because as I travel for work, I need to have a phone that connects. So,
Cool, cool.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're just randomly talking about random things. So we will let you guys go, and we will see you in 2 weeks
Yeah.
for a podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.